There were some people I seen coming up in the news feed, and they were talking about how to grow your hair fast, how to grow your hair thick, how to grow your edges back in, and all this other stuff. Okay, so here's the thing: there are a lot of black people with thin and very slow growing hair, like super slow growing hair, and I'm going to talk about why. Okay. And it's just going to be the cold hard truth because y'all know my weekend videos are totally unfiltered. All right. The thing about with growing your hair when you're black is you have to use the ingredients that are from where your black genetics migrated from. If the ingredients are not from where your ancestors migrated from, then you cannot expect thick, fast growing hair. It's not going to happen. So, for example, when I retwisted my hair recently, see how thick and strong it is? And I don't even have gel in here. There's no gel in here. When I retwisted my hair, I literally thought somebody had plaited a piece of rope in my hair because how fast it grew. And I was like, wait a minute, that's my actual hair. So I ended up having to roll the hair. I didn't even think I'd be able to roll it, but it's rolling. Now, here's what I found out. You have to make a list of the ingredients that either have migrated from Africa or that still grows in Africa. Don't go by just saying, oh, this is what an African person use. You have to actually, and I'm talking about different parts of Africa, because some of y'all ancestors are from different parts of Egypt. Not Africa, different parts of Egypt. So, for example, argan oil is what we use to shine our hair and soften it. So, use that. Things like shea butter and actually aloe vera was used as a hair grower that was normally rinsed out. We normally rinsed it out. We left it in and then rinsed it out. So things like that. Now here's the thing. Even when you're using a hair grease, something like this, on your scalp, you or on your hair when you're braiding and twisting, and I'll talk about why the hair grows thicker and faster when it's braided. And some of y'all gonna have an aha moment. You still have to have something in your hair that will seal, that will penetrate the grease will penetrate the strands. So it's better if you get something that is thicker to actually put on top of the grease and water. I know some of y'all are like, oh, grease and water, just do it. It will take longer to penetrate the hair. So you need something like a thicker paste of some kind to put on top of that grease. In the old days, they used like a thick pasty pomade. You can actually buy it now. So I find that using something like this works just fine. It has even aloe in it, leaf juice, and it also has like a type of glycerin. So the glycerin on top of the grease and water, it works naturally to seal moisture. Now, the thing about our hair is used to being left alone. We had other things to do than play in our hair every day. Our ancestors was weaving and sewing and chopping and carving and cooking. So our hair is used to being at rest, like the roots of a tree. If you go digging up the roots of a tree every day, what do y'all think's going to happen? Those roots are going to go in a shock. When you see the trees thriving out there, it's because they're undisturbed. The roots are undisturbed. But if you ever look at the trees that where the cars and bicycles are running over their roots, those trees often don't have a whole lot of leaves, or they die sooner than the other trees. So twist your hair and let it be. Braid or cornrow your hair and leave it alone. After you moisturize it, after you seal the moisture in, braid it or cornroll it and just leave it alone. Most plants that you have even indoors, they need rewatered at least once a week, which means your braids and your two-strand twist needs to be rewatered and remoisturized by the end of the week. Otherwise, it starts to get crispy, real crispy. And then when it gets too crispy, it starts to overshadow and crack your hairdo. So by the seventh day, as they say, we rested on the seventh day. On the sixth day, you're going to re-wet. You're going to mist your hair like you would mist the plant, and maybe add a little bit more of your moisturizer in your hair, and then you're going to not touch it again that Sunday or the seventh day, the Sabbath. And then you're going to repeat that cycle for another week. And then on the 14th day or the 13th day, you're going to prepare to take your hair down. And by the night of the 13th day, you're going to rewash and restyle your hair. That would be you having a rebirth. 3 is a new beginning number. So on the 13th day, that's when you prepare your hair for a restart, rewash, recondition, and all of that. Okay. Normally within the second or third week a month, our ancestors was going to go wash up somewhere, like putting their body actual in a pool of fresh water and spring water and dipping their hair in it. That was normally done by the end of the second week or end of the third week. I know y'all say every 4 weeks, every 4 weeks, but that's not true, because it would be very unsanitary. Now, only time our ancestors went 4 weeks without dipping their hair in the springs is if they felt like the beast community was really active. Then they would just pretty much wash their hair with whatever water they have left on the third week. They'll go in the woods and wash each other's hair rather than going to the actual spring and going in it. But the thing is when you don't re-wet your hair and rinse it and give it moisture, you need to ask yourself, can an indoor plant in my house last this long without struggling? Can plants in your garden go 2-3 weeks without water? The only ones that can do that are the ones that's growing underground, because they hold the water under the ground. They don't got to really share it with top growing vegetables. So the point, what I'm saying is, you can go a little longer without washing your hair or rinsing your hair when your hair is twisted. When you have hair that's underneath like this, like it's underground growing. But when it's out, no, you can't. You're gonna have to regularly moisturize that hair. And we know that when we regularly moisturize and wet our hair, we might get frustrated with all the recombing, detangling we're doing on a daily basis. And then we start breaking our hair out from all the combing, excess combing and detangling we're doing. So really, if you can minimize how often you detangle your hair, if you can minimize that, so go 2 weeks without detangling with a comb. So when the 2-week mark come, and when the end of the 2 weeks is up, and you're going to rewash and recondition and all that, that's when you detangle. But if you're going to re-moisturize and mist your hair at the end of the second week, you're not going to detangle. I'm explaining y'all the way nature work, because nature is in harmony with us. Okay? Match your energy to the relevant nature that you are. The jellyfish don't got to do this. The jellyfish is constantly in oily water all day long. The jellyfish is wet all day. A lot of white people tend to have oily, high sebum oily hair, so they don't have to do a lot of sealing. But you are of a lot of the land animals, or the animals that are on land for long periods of time, like turtles can be, and even crocodiles and stuff. Okay? Some of them will actually, in the deers, rub up against things to do shedding, like they're combing their antlers, and then they might actually go take a dip in the water to rinse their hair, to rinse off the shedding of their their antlers. So what I'm saying is, if you know the deers go in the water at least every 2 weeks. They may not go every week all the way in the water because they think it's dangerous. They might just sip and they say, well, now I need a wash. I need a hard wash. So in the 2 week mark, they'll go all the way in or put their head all the way under, to get it, wash their hair. So if you're going like 4 weeks to wash your hair, it's high risk on the hair health. That's something I noticed. Like, I noticed now that I wash my hair every 2 weeks, my hair's not really shedding. Like, I don't see big clumps of hair coming out anymore. And I noticed that there's parts of my hair, like hair growth is growing super fast. Like this right here, I was shocked. I was like, dang, is that a rope or what? I thought somebody sewed some hair in my hair. But the point that I'm making is you have to stop messing around in your hair. Growth requires you to leave it alone. A watch pot never boils. Stop playing in your hair. This obsession with hair variety on a weekly basis or every other couple days is getting like so toxic in the Black community. Like, why can't we see the power, the abundance of wearing the same hairstyle for a couple months? Like, never picking another hairstyle. Just for a couple months, you just got cornrows. You redoing these cornrows every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, and that just be it. When you're bending and twisting that hair in so many different ways, it starts to feel like it's being abused. When you're changing hairdos and hairstyles every 2 weeks, like, it could make your hair may feel like you're being toxic. Okay, like you're doing too much. You're asking too much of it too soon. We are not as simple with our hair as some of the white people are. I've seen white women have the same haircut for like 10 years. We are so worried about missing out on a compliment, like the one lady say. Credit go to the Black lady. I can't think of her name. I will post a link to her video. We're so thirsty for compliments and to fit in and to be I want to make sure that I'm seen as an original, that is actually hurting our hair growth gains. You do your hair and you just get on with your life for like 2 weeks. You mist your hair every couple days, spray it with some water, with some peppermint water to detox it or whatever, to detox it, and you go about your way another week. Some of y'all say you're burnt out. You're doing too much with your hair. Your hair would not feel like too much work if you wasn't messing with it every week. If you wasn't trying to redo it all the time, it wouldn't feel like work. 4C hair is very easy to take care of when people realize 4C hair likes to be left alone for a while. It's like the roots of a tree. It doesn't always want to be manipulated. You know, it doesn't always want to be stuck, tied and styled and pulled that way and pulled that way. It's actually more fragile than we think it is. So treat your edges when you have your cornrows in. Mix your hair with peppermint tonic every at the end of every week, and by the end of the third week, you should have re-shampooed, re-washed, re-detoxed, got you a detox and tonic for your scalp, treated that, and then re cornrow, re-braid. Braids only pull your hair out if you're always doing them so tight. If you feel like a lot of tension when you move your eyebrow or when you bow your head, you know that you did them too tight. Other than that, cornrows don't break your hair out. You would literally have to be snatching the hell out of your edges for that to happen. And if you are treating your edges on a weekly basis, re-moisturizing, re-spraying rosemary and peppermint and aloe vera on those edges at the end of every week, then you should not have to worry about losing them. Okay? Rosemary grows your edges, and I think argan oil slows hair fall. Lavender makes your hair thicker. Castor oil speeds up hair growth. So all you have to do is make sure you treat your edges every week, pamper them with a mist or some kind. That way you don't encourage any breakage. So you may want to apply argan oil and rosemary to your edges. You want to give some water, put rosemary and argan oil in there and peppermint in the water and spray your edges and then kind of, massage like that. You're going to do that at the end of every week before you could do a rewash. Okay? If I knew I was going to shampoo my hair tomorrow, I would literally drench my hair today, especially the front, with rosemary, peppermint, and argan oil. And aloe vera does grow your edges too. I found that out. Aloe vera does, y'all. But normally when it's mixed with, what is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. Castor oil and aloe vera. When it's combined, and you put it on your edges with seed oil, it'll grow your edges in very nicely. There is a hair cream that grows your edges fast, and it's made by Cream of Nature. It's made by Cream of Nature, and it's castor oil and aloe vera. And it's a overnight cream. It's called overnight hair cream. And you put it on your edges at night before you go to sleep. I'm telling y'all, it grew my edges in. And so if you put it on your edges like every night for a week, I'm telling you, you will definitely see hair growth. If I knew I was going to shampoo my hair tomorrow, I would definitely do a protein treatment today. I would literally drench my hair in rice water early this morning, massage it in, and leave it in. And then I would shampoo it out the next day. Or 3 days later, I would shampoo. That way I know that my scalp actually got the protein. That's what I would do. But I'm finding that this castor oil and aloe vera, this here is growing my hair. This here, like the shedding stopped, y'all. I started adding argan oil to my hair and using this one. And using this to seal in the grease and water And I noticed that no hair breakage. Like there's barely any hair in my comb now. It's like a little bit. Like my shedding went down to like 5%. It's super low. So yeah. So every couple days for me, I just go like this. That's what I do. See that there was no hair there. Now this is where my hairline naturally goes up. This is a natural, this is the way it is, and everybody's here in my family. Okay. So since I know that this is where it's shorter, naturally genetic, I know that I gotta make sure that these are the parts that I'm definitely going to every couple days. I'm gonna have to apply the castor oil and aloe vera to these edges. Okay? Like that. My hair loves grease and water so much that it gobbles it up. 2 days later, or by the end of the next day, I literally have to re-grease. That's just how much my hair likes this grease. It gobbles it. Okay. Now, and I do have some rosemary. I'm going to add a little bit of rosemary to all my edges. And then tonight, before I go to bed, I'm gonna put my see how I do like this behind my ear, because behind your ear is where the hair likes to get real dry. It dries out. So I like to add just a little bit of grease. It's still on my hand, y'all, so I'm applying it everywhere. Okay. So this is what you do. You can just always add a little bit more grease when the hair feels too dry. But you don't have to just, oh, I need to redo it all because it's a little dry. Just get you some tea tree and a little bit of grease and apply it to your scalp. Or you can get you some peppermint. Peppermint actually stops itching, dry scalp. So if you put your hair grease in your hair along with the peppermint, then you're definitely going to be you're going to be treating your hair going dry, like dry scalp. So I try to wait a little. Now I wait until like 2 weeks to actually take down my hair, like we used to do back in the 90s. When our hair was braided or twisted, we never took it out until at least 2 weeks. That's why our hair was thriving so much. I love how thick that look. look how thick that look right there. That's thick. Now, and of course, as I said, when I put the grease back in, it's just going to lay on the hair. It's not going to penetrate unless I got a little bit of a paste. It's not going to penetrate. This is why our ancestors, our grandmas used the hair paste. It's not really going to penetrate without pressure. The hair paste puts pressure on the hair grease. Now I know people say, I don't like the product buildup. You're washing your hair in 2 weeks. If you feel like it's just too much product, then you might not have 4C hair. Because 4C hair literally gobbles up product. I don't know what type of hair you got, but it should be gobbling up the product, okay? You might got 3A and don't, or 4A and don't realize it. See, I literally just greased this. Look how dry that is now. I literally just did that yesterday morning. And it's dry. That just goes to show. Okay. If you see monkeys and gorillas doing this, don't they do this? Don't they do a hair check, a fur check every day? They go through. Why aren't you doing it? You don't have to redo your hair. Just do a hair check. Like, seriously, just be like, Give it some love. Like, I still got this some on my fingers. I'm using every little drop that's on my fingers. Okay. Now, and of course, I can always put my scarf over it. Okay. Here we go. I don't really care for perfection. You know how African Americans, y'all like, oh, I want flawless laid braids. No, you want Indie Remy here. That's what you want. Stop complaining about the frizz. Why is frizz bad? Is it only bad because you see everybody else get rid of their frizz? I've gotten compliments on my texture when my hair was nice and frizzy and coolly looking. So why are you running from the frizz? Like, why is that why is that so such a bad thing? Shouldn't be. Now what I might do here, I should have sprayed it first, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to. Now I know y'all like, oh, my hair would get frizzy if I did that, and I just feel like it's not gonna get the added moisture right off the water, so I just sprayed it a little bit here. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. This is something you can do around this time. You don't want to be creative? Pamper your hair. Pamper your skin. There's other things you can do. Take some time and pamper your hair. Okay. Bye, everybody.